For those familiar with XTERRA, you think about long distance, grueling off-road triathlons in incredible natural sceneries. But in 2019, we introduced a new format called the Short Track.
Short track is awesome. It's fun, it's fast, you can't do any mistake, the race is gone. You have to perform well from the start line to the finish line, then you can have a good result, otherwise you're lost.
It's a different kind of race and it's a different challenge, and it's very good to have some race in XTERRA with mountain bike, with swim, mountain bike and triathlon, where we can go full gas from the beginning to the end.
Je pense que c'est super chouette, tant pour les athlètes que pour les spectateurs aussi. Et puis même vu que ça passe à la télévision, c'est aussi beaucoup mieux pour suivre. Et après, c'est plus intense et ça a plein de suspense durant la course.
The short track races feature shorter overall distances, completed on truncated courses that lap through towns and trees, with technical circuits and man-made features that challenge the elite athletes in ways different than the long-distance races. All-out, sprint-like efforts done in the race. Pacing is all but thrown out the window, and it's every man and woman for themselves.
Short track is a new format. It's very different, it's more strategic because every mistake can change the race. You never know if you will win the race, even if you are still in front of the race until the last kilometer. It can change. It's very intense and that's what I like.
XTERRA Short Track is a special race. It's very similar to mountain bike races because you are fighting all the time with a lot of bikers. So I like this format because most of the time you are fighting with someone, or you have the target to take time or to take the front triathlete.
The idea for Short Track began 3 years ago from the minds of XTERRA Europe's technical director Nico Lebrun and XTERRA Czech Republic race director Michal Piluce.
This is something who came, when we are thinking about our sport and to make it more attractive or to make it more, sexy for TV. We always see that our sport is pretty hard to film or need a huge budget because we are in the forest, it's long loop. And then I love, to watch sports on TV like mountain biking or biathlon, and I say, okay, all these sports, it's very short, or also Super League for, road triathlon, and I say they create the show for the TV. They were able to change a little bit their sport to make it shorter with smaller loop, and this is how slowly I start to think we need to try to do the same with XTERRA to have a good show. The triathlon, we see that more and more people like to watch triathlon on TV because it's really interesting with 3 different disciplines, with the transition. And mountain biking, since a long time, it's growing also as a show, as a TV show. So we can combine everything with the short track. Some short events, so not too long, because it's hard to attract people watching a race for like 2 or 3 hours. So this is like 35-40 minutes race, so this is perfect to watch on TV. And you can have the transition, the swim, but also some mountain biking, so some skills. Some people will jump, some might crash, so it's there is a lot of things can happen in a short track race.
I think for our sport, for XTERRA, is a very good opportunity, and also for athletes to have a visibility it's good for our sponsors also. And I hope this kind of format will help XTERRA to grow up.
XTERRA Adventures is presented by Tea Tree, the Experience. Discover the magic of Tea Tree. And by XTERRA, inspiring off-road adventure by connecting people and nature. This segment is presented by Tea Tree, botanical infused hair care for all hair types and textures. For the first short track race of the year, we are in Lake Garda, Italy. And for the second race, we'll move to Kristanovice, Czech Republic, home of the first ever short track race back in 2019. To kick off the race in Italy, athletes will dive into Lake Garda for 2 laps of 200 meters each. That's 8 lengths of a 20-meter pool, twice. Then, they'll transition out of the water and onto their mountain bike to complete 4 1,800-meter laps through cobblestones and tricky man-made features. Finally, they'll ditch the bicycle and complete the race on foot, running 2 laps of 1.3 kilometers each, circling through town and finishing back at the lake. 18 athletes representing 6 countries started in the morning's qualification race. The qualifying session saw a trio of Italians. Sandra Mayhofer finished fastest in tandem with Eleonora Peroncini, Marta Mendito third, and Loan Duvoisin from Switzerland in fourth. All saving some energy for the afternoon's final. The women's race saw Alessia Orla of Italy out of the water first, covering the 400 meters quickly. Sandra Mayhofer, also of Italy, and Loan Duvoisin of Switzerland were not too far back and were looking to make up time in the transition and try to chase down Orla once on the bike. Alessia Orla was the surprise of the day, a promising young athlete specializing in road triathlon. She wanted to test herself in this new XTERRA format. The fact that she and her family lived not far from Toscolano Maderno gave her even more focus and energy to perform well at home. Coming into the boardwalk waves, Mayhofer and Duvoisin had Orla in their sights and were able to overtake shortly thereafter. These two rode neck and neck for the remaining laps, with Mayhofer holding a slight lead in and out of the second and final transition. Transition is often where you can win or lose the race. The Swissess and the Italian, both mountain girls, were able to quickly switch to their running shoes and embark into the last part of their race. Sandra Mayhofer, also called the Smiling Queen, coming out of an incredible winter season that saw her win nearly all of the races she took part in, looking pretty strong. It was Duvoisin, however, who was able to dig deep and put distance between herself and Mayhofer in the unique run through the quaint town of Toscolano Maderno. She completed lap 1 in the lead, but had to hold off strong performances by Eleonora Peroncini and the ever-present Sandra Mayhofer. The steepness of the narrow streets was incredibly demanding to all the participants, but ITU 2019 world champ Eleonora Peroncini, who dubbed this course as being bellissimo, wasn't going to give up in trying to get closer to the leading duo. Lohan Duvoisin had the lead starting the second run lap and maintained it to take the win. Mayhofer held on for silver and fellow Italian Peroncini took the bronze. But Italians had a strong showing with Marta Mendito and Alessia Orla rounding out the top 5.
The swim was very strong, as I think, and then the bike, I do a very great battle with Sandra, and then the run was, I felt me so better and my legs are okay.
And what a dominant win by Lohan Duvoisin, the Swissess, holding off the Italian armada of Mayhofer, Peroncini, Mendito and Orla. The veterans Karina Vassal from Austria and Jindra Tsemanova from Czech Republic finishing 6th and 7th. Solène Billouin from France was able to overcome kidney stones flaring up during the race and finish number 8. Maria Calleja de España and the rookie Matilde Dalmas from Italy rounding out the top 10. Once the women cleared the staging area, the men began to set up for their turn to tackle the Lake Garda XTERRA Short Track course. A slew of Italians would be trying to defend home territory from the likes of Frenchmen Arthur Serrière, Arthur Forissier and François Carloni, and Spaniard Ruben Ruzafa and Czech Lucas Kočár. Qualifications went smoothly in the morning for many of the favorites, including Lucas Kočár, who finished a comfortable 17 seconds ahead of Arthur Serrière and Arthur Forissier, who tied across the qualification line. François Carloni and Franco Pesevento rounded out the top 5 qualifiers and quickly turned their sights to the afternoon finals. The qualified men dove into the crystal clear water under blue skies to get the race underway. The men's race was tight from the beginning to end with multiple lead changes throughout. The swim was no exception to the closeness of the race, with the athletes emerging from the water one right after the other, with no discernible advantage for anyone. Michele Bonaccino of Italy managed to climb out of the water first, with the cluster including Federico Spinazzi, Pesavento, Kočár, Serrière and Forissier right behind him. Slight gaps started to emerge during the urban wave section and hay bale obstacles, but it was still anyone's race after the first lap on the bike. Lead changes dominated the first and early second lap of the bike. The wood garden, tight turns and short uphill punches kept everyone on their toes and playing cat and mouse until Lucas Kočár's power started to take over the front of the pack. Lucas Kočár of the Czech Republic was leading after the second lap of the bike race and heading into the third lap. He was out in front by a short 11 seconds. Arthur Forissier of France was able to put some distance between himself and the rest of the field, to then try to chase down Kočár. The rest of the Hungry Wolves was still fairly bunched up and would have to rely on the run to separate. Lucas Kočár's quick pace saw him hammering over obstacles, which caused him to drop a chain. Mechanical stipulations are yet another element to contend with in short track racing. The minute it took for Kočár to fix his bike opened the door for Forissier to pull front and head into and out of the final transition in the lead. But his fellow countrymen François Carloni and Arthur Serrière were on the chase. Fast downhill sections of the run played into the hands of the two French Arthur, who never lost visual contact with one another for the remainder of the race. These two have raced together so many times and know each other's strengths and weaknesses by heart. Serrière quickly put himself in second position, but was never quite able to catch Forissier, who was able to hang on and take the win by a mere 3 seconds. Cochard recovered from his mechanical and with a fast run, rounded out the top 3.
It was a good day here for me. In the morning it was a hard race. I was very impressed by Lucas Cochard. I stressed during maybe 4 hours before the start of the final. And for the final I was really feeling good. I had a really better swim than in the morning. On the bike I pushed hard very quick to be in the front of the race immediately. I gave all I had to be first in the finish line.
With the short track season just getting started, remember these names as they'll be looking for more XTERRA glory as we head to the Czech Republic for stop number 2. XTERRA Adventures is presented by Tea Tree, the Experience. Discover the magic of Tea Tree. And by XTERRA, inspiring off-road adventure by connecting people and nature. The past week has seen most of the short track competitors in Lake Garda make their way north to Czech Republic, where not only is the short track competition sure to heat up, but the temperatures are as well. Those who fell just short of taking the win will look to unseat Arthur Forissier and Loan Duvoisin and climb to the top of the podium this week. Unlike last week in Italy, where the short track qualifications took place the morning of the finals, the top 25 competitors from the distance event on Saturday will qualify for the finals of the unique short track course around Kristanovice Lake, filled with flow sections, rocky obstacles and roots from the old growth trees. We are in the South Bohemian region of Czech Republic, in the Renaissance-era town of Prachatice, with its red roofs and historic chapels. It is a beautiful and quiet place surrounded by nature that makes it a perfect spot to host a short track event. Organizers and course builders have utilized the mineral water of the Kristanovice Lake and the natural obstacles the forest have to offer. Remember Loan Duvoisin of Switzerland, who won last week. She carried that momentum to be first out of the water here in Prachatice.
So Loan still focused, but she can see the big pack behind her.
Oh! Loan crashed!
Yeah.
Loan crashed, unfortunately. Oh!
Yeah,
looked like a big crash. Oh!
Yes, yeah. Of course, this is mountain biking. You see, she went a little bit too fast, and I think she will be okay. I don't think she hits a shoulder or something to break something. I hope for her.
Italian Sandra Mayhofer, the second place finisher in Italy, looked ready to capitalize on Duvoisin's exit by attacking the rest of the bike and going into the transition in the lead. But it was in fact Marta Mendito, the little princess of Italy, who channeled her frustration of finishing just off the podium in 4th place in Italy, who pushed the pace on the run and won the race. Solène Billouin of France finished second, with Sandra Mayhofer taking third.
I think short track it's beautiful for this reason because we are so close and the race is really open in swim, on the bike and on the run. But I like it because you have to run so good.
On the men's side, Maxime Chenet of France was first out of the water, but Lucas Cochard of Czech Republic, performing in front of a hometown crowd, and Federico Spinazzi of Italy were hot on his heels. Arthur Forissier and Arthur Serrière, the two French favorites for the race after their 1-2 showing in Italy, were working together out of transition, but it was Forissier who made the move after lap 1 on the bike. He ended up first after the bike, and Lucas Kochar, with no mechanicals this week, was in second. These positions held to the finish line, with Arthur Serrière finishing a strong third after winning the full distance the day before.
That's much more funny to have a condensed race and with a lot of people, everybody everywhere on the track, and yeah, with a little gap between all the guys. And yes, that's really a hard race and a fun race. The track on the bike is amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, that's really funny. The big turn, the jump, yeah, that's really a great mountain bike, and really I love it.
With 2 more short track races left this season, more podium shakeups are bound to occur. Visit XTERRAplanet.com and XTERRA Facebook pages to find information on how to watch the final races in Germany, Zittau, and France, Pujol, live when they get underway in August. Join us next time when we travel around the globe to China, Zhongguo, where the outdoor sports scene is exploding thanks to folks like the XTERRA China team. These races are accompanied by music festivals, camping, local markets, and a lot of Chinese culture and hospitality. But that's next time on XTERRA Adventures. 再见。